In a small, cozy house nestled among colorful streets, there lived a cheerful, imaginative boy named Adam. He was 10 years old and always dreamed of extraordinary adventures. That day, he was celebrating his birthday, a day filled with joy, laughter, and unexpected surprises. At the birthday table, surrounded by colorful balloons and smiling guests, Adam sat with his grandfather Alfred. Grandpa always knew how to surprise his grandson with special gifts. This time was no different. He had something extraordinary in store. When the guests had left the house and the sun began to set, the boy was still playing with a small toy car he had received as a gift. In that moment, his grandfather came to him and handed him a present, an old, leather-bound notebook. The notebook looked like it came straight out of a fairy tale, brown, with traces of time, as if it had stored hundreds of stories. "This is a special gift," his eyes seemed to say, and the grandfather explained the notebook's extraordinary power. It could be used only once per day, and everything drawn with a magic pencil next to a specific letter would become true. All one needed to do was dream and draw. As night fell and the house settled into silence, Adam lay in his bed. Spread out before him was the notebook, with a bedside lamp casting a soft, gentle glow. Suddenly, to his surprise, the pencil began to move on its own. The pages turned by themselves, opening to the page with the letter A. The pencil started to emit a faint magical light, and Adam remembered his grandfather's words. He knew now that he could draw anything that came to his mind. And then, he drew an astronaut. In the blink of an eye, the astronaut leaped straight out of the notebook's pages, leaving Adam in a state of wonder and pure joy. The boy, both astonished and delighted, slowly closed his eyes, knowing an incredible adventure awaited him.
An astronaut is a person who is trained to travel and work in space.
Adam stood on a strange, unknown planet, holding the magic pencil, his only connection to home and the reality he had just left behind. In the distance, a spacecraft approached, drawing nearer to the planet's surface. The view was so incredible, it could take your breath away. The astronaut stepped out of the ship and looked around. A massive rover stood just a few meters in front of him, and a quick, gleaming spacecraft streaked by in the distance. The astronaut moved towards the rover, and Adam joined him. Together, they set off on a journey across the unknown planet. Their ride was full of joy and excitement. They enthusiastically explored this unfamiliar world. But their pleasant stay on the alien planet was coming to an end, and it was time to prepare for the return to Earth. A powerful rocket, huge and majestic, launched, rising high above the planet. Our Adam was inside. Soon, he observed Earth through a small, oval window. Yes. I'll be back on the blue planet soon, he thought. And finally, a gentle landing. Not in a city, not at an airport, but in an orchard full of ripening apples. Soft summer air welcomed Adam, and he felt his extraordinary interplanetary adventure had come to an end.
An apple is a round fruit that can be red, green, or yellow. It is sweet and crunchy, and it's a healthy snack that many people enjoy.
Adam walked down a peaceful avenue lined with apple trees, heavy with ripe, fragrant fruits. Between the trees, the boy encountered a gardener who carefully tended to his beloved orchard. When the boy paused, the gardener told him about his apples. He explained that every week he takes the most beautiful fruits to the city, where residents eagerly await fresh, sweet produce. At that moment, a ripe apple quietly slid from a tree branch. It fell to the ground, and from its center emerged a small, smiling worm. Looking around, it announced that this was its home, and that in this beautiful orchard there was room for everyone. The boy reached for the apple and took a bite. It was not only fragrant, but juicy and so sweet. But the time had come to move on. The boy set out on his journey, and soon arrived at the bank of a wide, calm river. On the other side, a dense, mysterious jungle began, full of greenery and unknown adventures. How can I get to the other side? The boy wondered. Fortunately, a small wooden boat was rocking at the shore, seeming to wait just for him. It was a chance to continue his journey and discover more unknown worlds.
An alligator is a large reptile that lives in rivers and swamps. It has a long body, sharp teeth, and a powerful tail, making it an excellent swimmer.
Adam wandered through the dense green jungle. Movement and life surrounded him. In the tree canopies, colorful parrots flew, red, blue, and yellow. Their joyful singing echoed between the branches, creating an extraordinary melody. Suddenly, a cheerful laugh rang out in the nearby bushes. Small, agile monkeys jumped from branch to branch, playing and frolicking. Their games looked like an extraordinary, dancing spectacle amid the jungle's greenery. As Adam continued walking, he noticed a powerful yet delicately looking silhouette. It was an elephant that shyly stood to the side, but Adam confidently approached to make friends. The elephant proposed accompanying the boy on his journey, knowing that Adam needed a guide. Together, they traversed the vast savanna. The grass was tall and golden, and the horizon seemed to have no end. Finally, they reached a river, wide but not very deep. Unfortunately, there was no bridge or boat that could take them to the other side. At that moment, an alligator emerged from the water. Calmly and friendly, it proposed transporting the boy to the other side on its back. Adam unhesitatingly took advantage of this extraordinary help. In a moment, he was standing on the opposite bank, where perfectly trimmed, lush green grass stretched out. A new adventure was just beginning. The alligator swam back to its home, and Adam continued his journey. Walking along a perfectly trimmed green lawn and climbing slightly uphill, he reached a large white building. What could this be? The boy wondered to himself.
An art museum is a special place where you can see beautiful paintings, sculptures, and other works of art. It helps people learn about creativity and the different ways artists express themselves.
He entered with curiosity. The guide welcomed him warmly and told him about all the wonders he could see in the museum. Adam set out to explore with great joy. First, he headed to the hall with Roman sculptures, where magnificent stone figures seemed to tell their extraordinary stories. In the next hall, he admired beautiful paintings. Adam looked at each of them with great interest, but the most interesting part was yet to come. Suddenly, one of the paintings, depicting a ship at sea, came to life. Waves began to move gently, and the ship sailed across the calm water surface. The boy was extremely surprised and excited. His heart beat faster as he ran to the next hall. There hung a painting of a knight on horseback. And this time, too, the painting came to life. The horse stood on its hind legs, and the knight rode away as if setting out on a great adventure. But the surprises were not over. In the next hall, another knight jumped directly out of the painting and left the room where other artworks were hanging. Suddenly, Adam heard gentle snoring and bird songs. Curious, he went in that direction, and to his amazement, he saw a painting depicting himself sleeping. Adam opened his eyes and saw his grandfather sitting next to him. His friendly, smiling face radiated warmth and interest. The boy immediately began to tell about his extraordinary dream, about traveling to an alien planet and staying in a fruit orchard, about journeying with an elephant through the jungle and meeting an alligator, and the magical art museum where paintings came to life. The grandfather listened attentively, smiling occasionally, as if he himself had been a witness to this incredible journey and wondering, what amazing adventures are still waiting for Adam? Oops, watch out, boy!
Letter A. Astronomy kit. Animal toys. Adventure games. athletic equipment, airplane models,